Guys, happy post-election day. Did your candidate win? Are you disappointed? Me personally, I didn't really have a horse in that race. I really didn't give a shit. I'm not really into politics. My friends tell me I'd be a libertarian, but I don't even know what that really means. So they just say that that's what my personality is, libertarian. So maybe. Like I said, don't really have a horse in that race. I didn't feel like either candidate kind of represented the direction I want to see the country going. So, I find that talking about politics, it's not even worth it. So I'm just going to stop here and just say that completely unplanned, this game came in the mail yesterday on Election Day. How hilarious is that? Longtime friends of the channel might remember, not this past August, but the August prior, I had about a third or a fourth of my PS3 games stolen right off the back of a moving truck. Welcome to the neighborhood. This was one of the games in it. It was one of the last games I needed to replace for the collection, and I've been kind of dragging my feet. It's incredibly hard to find in the wild, but you can get it brand new on Amazon for about $10, which is what I did. But it just happened to come on Election Day, so personally I thought that was hilarious. But if you're into party games that revolve around cute animals and politics, maybe you should check it out. It's actually a lot of fun to play with friends and family. So, something. It's something. This game isn't going to be all pickups. I'm going to talk about some stuff I've been playing. I got a Grail system. I got a Grail game. So I kind of want to keep it moving, not focus on anything for too long. Saw this at a mom and pop shop for $4. Raise as hell. Has the Majesco seal of quality. You know it's got to be good. Sarcasm. Xbox exclusive. OG Xbox. I had no idea what this was, but for $4 I decided to peer into the abyss and take the plunge. And I brought it home, started playing it, and this mature rating is really warranted. I could not believe the language and themes in this game. At first I was like, this game is hard as shit, and it's ugly. But as the game goes on, it's actually not as hard as I made it out to be. And there's this really fun rolling mechanic, which reminds me of Samus. But anyway, it's a weird game. And it's one of those things where when I was playing it, I knew it wasn't a good game. I knew the humor was like low-hanging fruit, and the inner 13-year-old in me was like, oh, this is great, but like the adult in me was like, play something else. But I couldn't stop playing it, and I actually had a good time with it. I wouldn't recommend it because it's not a quality game. But if you are into just weird shit, this is a weird one. I never hear anybody talk about this. I don't know if any of you guys played this when it was, new or anything. I personally don't remember any of my friends playing this or owning it or even renting it or anything. So I decided to take a gamble on it, and I actually played it to completion. I just finished it last night, and it was a challenge. And I think that's one of the reasons I kept going back to it, because I was like, gonna beat this fucking game. So, Raise as hell, really weird, really cheap. Wouldn't recommend it, but definitely, if you're at all intrigued, check out some gameplay and see if it's something you might like, because I actually had a pretty good time with it. Another game I've been playing, but I haven't finished yet on the PS4 is Dex. This is a PAL game. Got it imported for about $23 shipped. Came with a nice full-color, thick manual. CD soundtrack, an actual CD soundtrack, not a fucking code, and that alone, I was like impressed, because North American releases, you spend $60 on a AAA game and not even get a fucking manual, you know what I mean? You just get a case and a disc and a flimsy fucking piece of artwork. But the actual game is pretty solid. I haven't finished the game, but I'm enjoying the game. It reminds me of Symphony of the Night, if I'm going to be really basic and just break it down as easily as possible. It's like Symphony of the Night meets Blade Runner. That's the easiest way to describe it. Gorgeous, gorgeous graphics in this game. The backgrounds are stunning. The dialogue in this game is amazing. Great voice acting, very mature themes. I was actually very surprised with how dark the game is, how mature the game is. But it's good. It's really good. But there is a few glaring issues with this game. First, and probably the least offensive of those, is the loading times. They're long, but kind of annoying, but I can deal with it. The other thing is the gunplay in this game is absolutely horrendous. That said, you can get... I mean, I don't know if you can finish the whole game not using guns, but I've had no problem just using melee. And you can even be stealth and hide and avoid conflict, which has proven pretty successful, but mostly I just use melee combat because the gunplay is just awful. The aiming system is garbage. But the worst part about this game, and it's absolutely necessary, is these hacking portions of the game where you like go into the internet or something. They explain it, and it's kind of cheesy, but it's kind of like a twin stick shooter, and it's not good. It's actually pretty bad, and it's something you have to do. So it breaks up the gameplay from these beautiful side-scrolling, Symphony of the Night style gameplay to this just really kind of not good controls, like twin stick shooter portions that are just blah, and you have to do it. So that's the biggest issue with the game. Other than that, I would recommend this game. Honestly, I would definitely recommend this game. I really enjoy the game. It's just the hacking mechanic in this game is just stupid, in my opinion. It's stupid. It doesn't even make sense. I don't know why they felt the need to include it. I mean, it makes sense from a story arc perspective, but from a gameplay standpoint, it's dookie. Let's move on. Another game I played for Halloween. I played it a few days before Halloween, on Halloween day, and I believe I finished it the following morning, day after Halloween. So pretty recent, and that is a Vita game called Yomawari. Now initially I had intended to play Fatal Frame for my Halloween game because, used to be in Halloween I'd try and play through 2 or 3 games, but this year I've had a lot going on. I don't know if I mentioned it, but maybe a month ago, I put in for a promotion. I didn't end up getting the promotion. I was pretty fucking upset about it. The guy they hired for that job did not work out at all. He got shit canned, and my boss ended up coming to me about 2.5 weeks ago and asking me if I was still interested, and I was like, I can fucking start tomorrow. So, ended up actually getting the promotion, which was great, but at the same time, the past 2.5 weeks I've been working non-stop, 55 plus hours a week, 6 days a week. So I'm just starting to get my personal life and home life and stuff kind of back in order, because I've been just super focused on work and getting acclimated to my new position, because there's a lot to learn and a short amount of time to do it in. But I think I'm where I need to be, and things are starting to be easier, and I can focus a little less on work now and more on family and friends and gaming and stuff that I actually enjoy outside of work. But, yeah, so I did end up getting that promotion, which is awesome. So, anyway, normally I try and play 2 or 3 games, but with all that going on at work, I, kind of had to narrow it down to just one, and this was the one that I picked, and couldn't have been happier with it. It's only about maybe 6 hours, maybe a little over 6 hours it took me. It wasn't a long game. Played it for a couple hours a night, beat it in maybe 4 sittings, and thought it was fantastic. It's I don't know how to describe it. There's no combat in the game, but you die. I probably died 100 times. You kind of got to sneak around and hide behind bushes and signs and stuff and figure out kind of this. I don't want to ruin the story. It's a survival horror game, yes, but not your typical survival horror game. And it's very cute, and it has this weird juxtaposition of really cute characters and really grotesque ghost aberrations that'll fucking one-shot you, and you really don't fight. You just kind of run away or hide or do whatever you got to do, and you're gonna die all the time. But it's a really weird save mechanic that you can abuse to kind of make the game easier and kind of level out the playing field. So once I kind of figured out how to abuse that, it made the game quite a bit easier. Not that it's a hard game. I wouldn't say it's easy or hard. Obviously I died probably 100 times, but really cool. I mean, I genuinely enjoyed this game a lot. I thought the story was cute and just I just liked it. It had one of the best tutorials brilliant tutorial. Whoever came up with this tutorial is a genius. Love the sound design. I saw some people on Twitter, this is kind of like another side tangent, bitching about the packaging for this game. It came in a big box, and it included a soundtrack CD and 2 art books. 2 art books because not only is this game on here, but it also has the Firefly Diaries, which NIS released maybe 18 months ago or so, and both games are on one cart. Well, people were complaining that there was no music from Yomawari on the soundtrack CD included, and it was all the same as the Firefly CD that came in that special edition. I don't think these people played the fucking game because there's no fucking music in the game, so of course there was no fucking songs from Yomawari, with the exception of the one from the title screen, which was included, so that, I don't know, that just annoyed me. Like I said, that was a tangent. Actually, was the end credit music different? I don't remember. Either way, one of my favorite games I've played this year that has been released this year. Highly recommended. Great stuff. Like I said, the sound design in this game, even with the absence of music, is absolutely amazing. Very creepy. Play it in the dark with headphones on. It's very good. Every single time I died, it still kind of made me jump a little bit because of the sound that it makes and the screen that flashes. Just a very cool game. Yeah, like I said, one of my favorite games I played this year. So, moving on, I could probably talk about that all day, but I kind of want to talk about a bunch of stuff. Went to a mom and pop shop and found something that I've wanted forever. Now, initially I wanted this complete in box, but I could not turn it down. That is the Wii Mini. I saw this from behind the counter. Asked the clerk working how much it was, and he said, "Oh, you don't want that. It doesn't have any cords. It doesn't have any controllers." And I was like, "So it's just the console?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, I've got all the cords and the sensor bar and the controllers and shit at home, so, you know, I'd be more than happy to buy just the console." And he gave it to me for a great deal. This thing's in great shape, actually. A few little blemishes, little scratches. There's kind of a deeper scratch right there, but overall in great shape. I've always been a fan of the Nintendo Mini consoles, like the top loader and the SNES Mini. I prefer those over their regular versions, so I knew it was only a matter of time until I got one of these. Even though I initially wanted it complete in box, whatever, I'm still just happy to have it, especially for that price. It's worth it to just get this. So, yeah, kind of a Grail console there. I'm not sure if this is uncommon or anything, but ever since it kind of disappeared from store shelves, I haven't really seen it anywhere. And I know a lot of people think that this is garbage because it doesn't have the GameCube connectivity or the internet, or what are you going to do with the internet on a Wii anyway? Fucking watch Netflix? So that stuff really doesn't matter to me, so happy to have it. Picked up a copy of Riviera on the PSP. Been wanting this for a while. Held out and actually got this sealed for the same price new copies were going for a couple months ago, so I think it might have gotten re-released, because I did get this new, and I believe first pressings of the game came with a standee inside, and this didn't have that, so which leads me to believe it was a second or maybe even third pressing. I don't really know, but happy to get this. I have it on the GBA and didn't really get too far, so yeah, kind of hoping maybe I'll get a little further in it on the PSP, so we'll see. On the collecting side of things, I did want to, I don't want to sound ranty, but Shiren the Wanderer, this is the example I like to use. A few years ago at GameStop, you could find Shiren the Wanderer for $5. It seemed like there was a used copy at every GameStop, and I bought 3 or 4 copies of it. I got one for myself, obviously. Love the game. One of my favorite Wii games. And I wanted other people to play it, so I got a copy for my brother, got a copy for a few of my friends here on YouTube, and sent them out to them. And this feels like it wasn't long ago at all. And now on eBay, that game is going for upwards of $100, which is just ridiculous. And it was published by Atlas. You know, that's not to say every game published by Atlas is going to skyrocket in price, but, you know, some may. And there's a couple games that kind of similar story. I used to see them at GameStop or mom and pop shops all the time for cheap, and now I can't find them. So wanted to cross a few of those off the list and kind of share them with you guys just in case there were games you were interested in, because these are two games. Like I said, I don't believe all Atlas games are going to go up astronomically, but these are two games that I could see, you know, maybe they will never go break $50 mark, but formerly cheap games that I don't think will stay cheap. First, Testament of Sherlock Holmes. Used to see this at GameStop for $10. Decided I wanted to get a copy for the PS3. You can still find the 360 version pretty easily at GameStop, but the PS3 version, not so much. Started looking around online. This game's going for, you know, 20 plus now, which was like, yikes. Didn't really want to spend that on this, but I was lucky enough to find a copy for, I believe, $9.99 at a mom and pop shop. Not in the greatest of condition. There's some issues with the cover art. It has some minor flaws. You know, same with the manuals, a couple little dings and stuff. But overall, you know, for $9.99, I'm more than happy. Much rather get this than spend, you know, $25 on a copy. Now, again, I'm not saying this game is going to be an expensive game, but it's climbing. And if you're interested in it, might not be something you want to sleep on. And the same is true of this next game. I was having a conversation with my friend about it. He was playing it, and he was saying how much he was enjoying it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to, you know, swoop up a copy, because I was like, the game was dirt cheap. I remember seeing it for $7, you know, tops. And he's like, I don't know, it's a little more now. It's kind of gone up in price. And so I checked out some prices, and I was, again, kind of mortified. I was like, man, it's fucking $20-$30 now, seemingly, again, overnight. And that game is Dragblade on the DS, another Atlas published game. I was lucky enough to find a copy on Amazon for, I think this was $12 shipped. It's either 12 or $13. So cheaper than the going rate, still a little more than I wanted to pay. But again, these are two games that are kind of Chiron tier, in my opinion. They have a very niche market, but they're interesting enough games that I think will become desirable down the line. And they're both games that I just never see anymore. I used to see them, now I never see them. So, just two recommendations from me to you. You know, if you don't want to go through the whole paying more later thing, I'd recommend grabbing these games now. That's just my opinion. I could be dead wrong, but I have a feeling. And the last thing I kind of want to show you guys is something I'm really happy to add to the collection. Super, super happy to finally get a copy of this game. I blame Bubs. Bubs showed this game in his PS1 collection video, and kind of a light bulb went off, and I was like, man, I need to pick up that game. I love the movie. Been wanting the game for a while. I remember when I first started looking into getting the game, it was like maybe $20-$30. And even at the time of Bubs making his video, I think it might have been maybe closer to $60 or $70. Seemingly, again, overnight, the game is over $100. But did some wheeling and dealing, trading with a local guy here, and I was able to get a copy for a great price. And that game is a PS1 game, my most wanted PS1 game ever since I knocked out. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of that game? The predecessor to Soul to Robo. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, super, super happy to get this, and that is the City of Lost Children on the PS1. Again, a grail game for me. Absolutely adored the movie. Just think it's a very bizarre movie to make a game about. I still can't even believe, this is one of those things I can't even believe it exists. But thrilled to have it, and definitely recommend the movie if you've never seen the movie. It's really good. The game, not so quick to recommend the game. But if you're a fan of the movie, then I might recommend the game. But really cool stuff there. And I just heard the baby wake up, so it is early in the morning. So I'm going to go see what she's up to, crack the third, maybe make her a bottle, and grab this day by the pussy. So I love you. God bless. Crack out.